going to get started with our practice today. All you need is your chair, a strap, your blocks, and we'll do a little bit of weights, okay? So we're going to do some movement first and then get into our centering, just because there's a lot of good energy today. So I just want to get some movement in, then we'll stop center, do some breath work, and I have a little reading, okay? So get seated on your chair with your feet connected and start making those nice circles with your torso. So pressing the hands into your thighs, getting the shoulders involved, and paying attention to what you sense in your lower back and your hips. So this is kind of your snapshot opportunity to see how you're feeling today, this morning, and what your body's willing to do. And then go around the other direction. Good. And come to a nice centering. Bring your feet a little bit ahead of your knees so that you can engage the torso and slide forward in your chair so that you're really engaging that core. Press your hands into your thighs. Use that to lengthen your spine, shoulders up towards the ears. Just do a couple of nice shoulder rolls today. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Coming present into your practice. Stretch the fingers out wide and curl them in. Fling the fingers out. Just get some movement with the hands. Curling the fingers out, slow and fast movement. Next time the hands are in a fist, just make some circles with your thumbs and then get the wrist involved. Keep the hands soft to start. Go both directions with your wrists, shake them out, and then extend the arms long with tighter fists and feel the deeper stretch across the top of the wrists, both directions. And then bring the hands back onto the thighs. Come back to your seated mountain. Lower the chin towards the chest and sweep your chin over your right shoulder. So right ear is in line with right shoulder. And extend your left fingertips out toward the earth at a 45-degree angle. And then stretch just a little bit further here too. Keeping your head tilted, lift your chin up at the diagonal and lower your chin back down to get a nice stretch in different parts of your neck. So breathing in, that chin lifts up. And as you exhale, the chin lowers back towards your right shoulder. Just a couple more with your own breath. And if you feel something that feels really good and like you should stay there, just stay there and pause. And one more exhale. Inhale. Good. And once your chin is lifted, can you jut your jaw forward? Oh, take your lower teeth over top of your upper teeth. And bring your jaw back to neutral. Bring your hand back to your thigh and your chin back towards your right shoulder, and then sweep your chin over towards the center. Lift your head up and then just kind of bobble it back and forth. Kayak your shoulders. Loosen up anything. And let's go to the other side. So chin in the direction of the chest. Sweep your chin over towards your left shoulder. Nice breath in as you release your right hand out to the side, and then stretch a little bit further. You'll actually feel that nice sensation going all the way down to your fingertips. Lifting the chin at the diagonal and slowly lowering it back down, looking over your left shoulder. And then keeping that head tilted like a confused puppy, lift and lower that chin. And oh, Linda, I wanted to ask you about your dog. If you got a new puppy, a new dog, maybe a new older dog, you'll have to let us know and introduce us if that happened. I know last week you were thinking about getting a new dog. One more time, breathe in and out. Next time that chin lifts up and toward the corner of the room, jut your chin forward. Bottom teeth over top. I know there's a dog that does that. I think it's a Pekingese. My mother-in-law had one of those. Well, I'll be Pekingese here. And then bring your jaw back to neutral and lower your chin back towards your chest. Bring the hand back to your thigh and sweep your chin back towards center. And then just gently turn your head side to side. Good movement in that neck. You know, if you've had a long night's sleep and you didn't turn your head, that neck can get so stiff. But what I've noticed doing these neck exercises is I used to only be able to turn my head to the right on my belly when I was sleeping. Now I can turn it both directions. So getting a lot more movement in that neck is important. All right, let's just swing that right arm back and forth. Get as much freedom of movement in that shoulder as you can. Let gravity and momentum bring some movement to this. Being careful, Linda and Judy, you all have these shoulder issues. I think, Rose, your shoulder's okay. And then take it forward and back. Just take it to your range of motion that feels good for you. And maybe even more slowly if you need to take it more slowly and mindfully. And then if you're able to do some figure eights. I'm curious how your therapy is going with those shoulders. I know, Judy, we're trying to avoid surgery. Everybody would be, and then take it the other direction if there is such a thing. Good. And you can really feel that in that shoulder joint. And shake that arm out and we'll go to the other side. Just a little bit of momentum movement, being careful not to let momentum or gravity carry it too far beyond your comfortable range of motion. And then take it diagonally over the chest and back behind you. Trying to get a better visual of everybody. Good. And then some nice figure eight movements. Good. Ah, very nice. And then the other direction. Okay, and then give yourself a hug as you just sweep your arms over your chest. Give yourself a little pat on the back. And when that right arm is over top of the left arm next time, hold it there and soften your shoulders down. Draw that belly in and up and twist towards the left as you look over your right shoulder. And then sweep your arms again. Give yourself a little hug. And then next time the left arm is over top, we'll pause there and look over your, twist to the right and look over your left shoulder. This one always feels really good to me. Good. And then come back to center and roll the shoulders out again. All right. Bring your hands on top of your knees. Let's just do a little bit of cat-cow. So slide your hands over your knees. Draw the chin to the chest and round your back body. And just pause here for a moment as you imagine and try to get the muscle energy of your back body to spread your shoulder blades away from each other. Even imagine them sliding across the side ribs. Let the chin kind of lower towards the chest, maintaining that golden egg underneath the chin. One more breath here. And notice too, if this just feels a little too comfortable for you, that maybe you sit in a slouch position and compared to, let's go to the other way, slide your hands up your thighs, straighten your spine, bring the heels of the hand towards your torso, take the elbows back, soften the shoulders down, and draw the elbows toward each other, and then lift up from your heart space, not the lower back, just lift up and just draw those elbows back a bit. And notice what you notice here about the energy it requires to really open up through the chest, taking the chin slightly up, the eye gaze no higher than where the wall and the ceiling meet. All right, and then we'll just move with the breath in your own rhythm. As you exhale, slide back into your cow. And as you inhale, lift up, lift the heart, elbows press back, eye gaze lifts with your inhale. Exhale, cat. And exhale, open heart. See if you can mindfully draw your attention to your shoulder blades, to your back body. As you inhale, your blood flow goes to where your attention is drawn. according to some PET scans they did. So people mindfully taking awareness to certain places of their body. So if you're looking for healing in those shoulders, just taking your awareness sometimes to those shoulders as you're working and doing your PT, bringing more blood flow to those spaces for better healing. You can do that with all parts of your body with practice. Let's do one more cat-cow. I try to do that with warming my feet at night. My feet get so cold. I try to take awareness to my feet, get more blood flow to my feet. That's still, the jury is out on that one. I'll be honest. All right, take your arms out to the side and bring your fingertips to your shoulders and just make some big circles with your elbows. So with those shoulders, your sun breath with the arms up overhead may just go to shoulder height. They may go to a Y, they may go to a V. So let's see where they want to go as you reach the arms either to shoulder height, Y, V, or I. You pick wherever you are. Press your feet into the floor. So even if you're here with your arms forward, that's okay. Soften the shoulders down. Feel those shoulder blades on the back body. Maybe the arms are up here. Then go ahead and lower your left hand down. So if your fingertips are on the shoulder, that's good. And then to crescent over. And we're just going to lift and lower, working the side body a bit. So use your side body muscles as much as possible to strengthen those oblique muscles, get some stretching from where the hip and the side ribs connect. If the arm is up overhead and the upper arm can come in line with the ear, get that nice stretch there. Just a couple more. It's like a tick-tock. And two more. And holding on to the chair or not if you're really working on using those side body muscles. And taking the arms back to your level of comfort, lengthen, and then lower the other side down and crescent over towards that right side. So you may be here at goalpost, fingertips, or maybe that elbow can lift up a bit. Those shoulders are tricky joints, I know. And when they hurt, boy, kind of everything hurts, right? So pulls into the neck, and need to really honor those areas that need some loving kindness today. One more. Good. And both arms to your level of comfort and palms together, lower the hands down to the heart. And then make that big, big beach ball hug. Draw the belly in and up and keep your nose between your fingertips as you twist slowly side to side. Again, really now taking the awareness to the core muscles and not guiding or leading with your arms, but leading with your heart space and using the core muscles to direct this movement. If you keep that belly drawn in, it kind of helps to cushion the spine with the abdominal muscles, helps to strengthen the abdominal muscles. Let's go one more time each way. Good, nice breath in and out. And then lower the hands down, roll the shoulders out. All right, take your feet nice and wide and press your hands into your thighs to lengthen and hinge forward. So you're hinging that same computer screen thought that we have, that your legs are the keyboard, your chest and torso is the screen, and you've got that bar right at your hip. So you don't want your computer screen to bend, so keep it long and tall. Hands or no hands, depending on what your lower back is saying to you today. Shoulders are back, head and neck are in alignment, and we're just hinging forward and back. And those with any osteoporosis are only going that 45 degrees, really keeping your core nice and strong with that. Let's go one more time, hinge forward. Pause here for a moment. And if you don't have that low bone density, go ahead and slide the hands down to the outside of the shins. Press the hands into the legs into the hands for what we call pressure cooker. Press your feet into the floor and the sitting bones grounded into the chair. So this is a super active isometric posture. So if your blood pressure was having a hard time today, then soften this. One more breath. And then slide the hands back up, lift up. You should have felt that everywhere in your legs and body. Should we try that again just to make sure that we really were engaging? So lengthen, draw that belly in and up. Hinge from your hip, hands stay on the thighs if you're low bone density. Hands can slide to the sides of the shins. Press hands into legs, legs into hands. Press feet into floor. Set sitting bones into the chair. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Press, press, press. Isometric affects blood pressure. So again, if you have high blood pressure that's uncontrolled, this might not be a good idea for you. One more breath. Feel those inner thighs, feel the legs working, feel the chest working. Good. And then lift back up. Whew, that one does it for me every time. Now I'll take the feet back and forth. And we're drawing the knee toward the ankle. So we're really trying to get a nice stretch across the outer hip. So again, if you need to slow this down, slow it down. Try to keep the feet flexed. That'll help support the knee a little bit better. And then next time that left knee is pointing at the right knee, just leave it there. Keep the foot flexed. Feel that stretch from all the way. I'm wondering if any of y'all felt the gluteus medius last week when we were doing a lot of gluteus medius works, little side hip muscle. I sure felt it last week. Those are those weak muscles that really create imbalances in the pelvis. So it's good to do those exercises I showed you in bed, clamshell, leg lift leading with the heel, knee into chest. Those are all going to help strengthen that unused muscle. And then go the other way. Unused, but super important to maintain balance of the pelvis. So this is helping to stretch that. You can feel that all the way from in the groin area to the outer hip to the outer side of the thigh. Now this is a really good stretch for that too, as long as the knee doesn't hurt. Take another breath here. Good, so we're stretching the outer hips. Now we're going to slide over to that right side of the chair, sorry, and take your right leg out to the side for gate pose. Wait, don't do that yet. Come back to the middle. Get your blocks. We need to set up our blocks. All right, so one block's going to be here on the left side, and then the other block's going to be right in front of you in the center, okay? And then slide over to the right and extend your right leg out however you like your foot to be. So we're trying to keep the hip points level. So I still have my sitting bones kind of on the chair. My left knee is pointing straight out, right leg is out to the side, wherever is comfortable for you. And we're trying to get a stretch in the outer hip here. We're going to do the hip complex stretching. All right, so everybody in position? Good. Reach the arms to your level of comfort, wherever that is. Lengthen, and then lower your right hand down, crescent over towards the right. And I want you to take your awareness now from where your left hip and your left rib meet and lift up and lengthen through that space. And feel that stretch in the right inner thigh. Come to a chi with the arms. Lower your left hand down either to the chair, or if you can reach the block, reach for the block and take that right arm up. Maybe you're sliding it, keeping the fingertips on the shoulder. That's okay. Maybe the arm reaches up overhead. And if you press your hand into the chair or the block, use that to get you long and tall. So we're not collapsing into this. Lengthen, reach with that fingertips, elbow, muscle energy. And then upper arm, if it works, to bring over in line with the ear. So you've got a long diagonal line from fingertip to heel. One more breath. Try not to lean into that. Keep stabilized. Good. And then come back to a T. Now here, you may want to grab that block that was on your right and stack it on top of the block in the center. Bring the hands into the block to lengthen your spine. Keep the core. We're going to hinge like we did before. So hinge over the center, and that should accentuate that stretch in the inner thigh. If you can go a little bit deeper because you know your bone density is going to support this, you can make the blocks into a T, or you can just bring the blocks side by side. And you should feel a really big stretch on that inner thigh. So this is like our wide forward fold. Full breath in, full breath out. We're going to stay here for another breath or two. Keep pressing that outer foot into the floor. Engage the muscles of the legs. Press the thigh bone down toward the earth. Allow that stretch to occur. One more breath. All right, now take one of your blocks and kind of throw it out in front of you. Keep the other one on the inside edge of the left foot. And we're going to lift that leg up and bring it over in front of us as we center our hips back onto the chair for a hamstring stretch. Give me a second to situate. Hands on the thighs. Press and lengthen, lift up through the heart. Now press the heel into the block, press the thigh bone down. Lengthen and hinge forward. So the hands can be on the thighs for support, maybe behind the chair as the shoulders roll back, holding on to the legs of the chair. Head and neck are in alignment. We're not leading with the nose. We're getting belly button toward thigh, leading with the heart. Hold for another breath or two. Keep pressing the heel down. Keep pressing the thigh bone down. This is all about engagement, all right? Lift back up, full breath in. Lengthen and bow forward. Good. Heel into block, thigh bone presses down. Draw the toes a little more toward the nose. Oh, big stretch under that Achilles and calf. Really feeling that today. All this beautiful weather. Been doing a lot of walking, trying to take advantage of it. We went to Chesapeake Beach, Maryland, Monday. Oh, they have the most beautiful walks there. They have a boardwalk walk through the marshes where the old train used to bring people from Washington, D.C. Into the seaside. All right, so we're going to bend this right knee, flex the foot, externally rotate it, and put the pinky toe side of the foot on the block that's right next to that left foot for a figure 4. Lengthen, release the leg down toward the earth, and hinge forward. So Chesapeake Beach is also that beach where you can do fossil shark tooth finding. And I don't think I found any. I found one that looked like a shark tooth, but I think it was just a broken shell. Lift back up, big breath in, and hinge forward again. All right, so now we're stretching the outer hip, little of the inner hip, still flexing the foot to support the knee. One more breath here. Good. And lift back up. All right, we're going to rearrange our blocks to do the other side. So we're going to grab that block that's in front of me and place it on my right side and bring that left block more toward the center as I scooch over to the left side and extend my left leg out. Hip points are as level as possible. All right, and the foot is wherever the knee is comfortable. You ready? All right, reach the arms up to your level of comfort. Wherever you are, you want to get the spine long, hip points level. Lower your left hand down. Keep that right side rooted into the chair and crescent over. Find that breath. Keep the heart lifted. Find that stretch between your hip bone and your rib and grow that a half an inch longer wherever you are. All right? You can still use your muscle energy to stretch that space. Find that initial stretch in the inner thigh as well. One more breath. Good. Lift back up using those side body muscles. Come to a T and then lower the right hand either to the chair or to the block. And then those left fingertips can come to the shoulder or up overhead, or maybe that huge stretch. And I feel that stretch all the way in my hip complex region. So if you really engage, stretch, and lengthen and take your awareness and your attention to those spaces. One more breath here. Good. And use your side body muscles to lift back up if you can. Grab your block. And we're going to come to center. So you're going to build an L, a T, or a big fat I. Wherever you are, lengthen, hinge, stretch, press the foot, the thigh bone down, find that length, keep the leg engaged, hinging, nice lengthened spine. And then just soften into it while maintaining all that elegance, all that integrity. Good. Lift back up, full breath in. And let's try that one more time. Hinge forward. Ooh, big stretch. Grab one of your blocks, throw it out in front of you. And bring the other foot to the inside edge of that right foot. And then figure out a way to center back into your seat and place your foot, your heel on that block out in front of you. Hands lengthen the spine or reach for the back of the chair, hinge forward. Press the heel bone into the block, press the thigh bone down, toes towards the nose. Hinge, nice straight spine. So it doesn't matter how far you go, it's maintain this beautiful alignment and take your awareness to what we're trying to really focus on right now, which is the back of the leg, including the hamstring, where the hamstring attaches on the thigh bone, on the shin bone, the Achilles, the calf, as those toes draw up toward the nose. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, hinge forward again. Good. And soften into this while maintaining that elegance and integrity. Good. One more breath. And lift back up. Get your blocks out of the way for a moment. And hinge forward, scooch forward in your chair. Walk your feet a little ahead of the knees. And come up on the heels of the feet. Going to do some core work now. So find your core. Find that deep belly muscle. Hands cross the chest, lift the elbows up. Full breath in as you wrap that corset from the back body to the front and hinge back. Now, if that hurts your lower back, you might feel better hinging forward just a bit. So I'm going to go hinging back and then use that strength of the muscles as if a string is pulling me forward. Hinge forward just a bit. Hinge back. Using the strength of the core, keep the length, hinge forward. Good. Just a few more. If you want to take your arms out to the side, keep the arms active and engaged, maybe out in front for a little more leverage or even up overhead to help you lengthen. Where do you feel the most special work for yourself? That might be with your hands on your thighs. Okay, a couple more. Now, next time you hinge back, pause there for just a moment. Pause, keep that belly drawn in. Pause, 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 pause. And release that. Good. And make those circles with your torso again. Scooch back in your chair. I love this. My husband's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, just try it. It feels so good. Get the shoulders, get the lower back. Oh, feels good for me. All righty. Shake it out. Now we're ready to do a little breath work. Warmed up the torso, the ribs. So I want to do the 4-5-8 breath. I mean not the 4-5-8 breath, the square breath. So it's inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Now you can make that a rectangle if you want. Rectangle will lengthen your exhalation, and that helps to calm the nervous system. But if you make a square and have your in-breath and out-breath even, that's more about equanimity. So what do you need today? If you need more energy, you're going to make a kind of a faster, like a sniff in and a ha breath. All right. So if you need energy, you're going to do that sniff in, ha breath. If you're looking for equanimity, you're going to do a square, even. And if you're looking for calming the nervous system, you're going to do a long rectangle, so a long exhalation, okay? So I'm going to walk you through different scenarios. So first, find your center, hands to your heart. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Let's get reconnected to your own breath, your own breathing. Allow the air to feel the expansiveness of the chest and the belly. Take a moment to just detect what you might need in your own body today. Energy is that ha breath, short in breath with a ha breath. Calming the nervous system will do the long exhalation, the long rectangular breath. And if we're looking for just some equanimity, neither this nor that, a square breath. I'm going to start with square breath. So as you're ready to take that next breath in, inhale, hands to the forehead. Pause at the top of that breath, neither breathing in or breathing out, and then exhale, nice and even, and pause at the bottom of the exhalation. Inhale, pause, exhale, and pause. Inhale, pause, exhale, and pause. I'm going to make a rectangle now. If you need the square, stick with the square. Pause, exhale, 3, 4, 5, 6, pause. Inhale, pause, exhale, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, pause. Inhale, pause, exhale, 4, 5, 6, pause. All right, keep doing what you need. And if you're looking for something that gives you more energy, take a big sniff in. Inhale. Pause. Inhale. 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 Do a couple more of whatever you need today. And when you finish, bring your hands back to your heart. And if you can come to a place that feels like gratitude for your yoga practice, just in what it can do for you to be mindful and take some time for yourself, just give yourself a little compassionate breath, little hands over the heart, and just gratitude towards yourself for taking some time for you today to just be present with what is. Nice. Good. And then lower hands onto the thighs. We're going to do some sit stand, okay? So lots of different ways to do it. I'm going to start with the traditional way with the feet behind the knees, hands on the thighs, lengthen, hinge forward, and light on the buttocks to see, is this going to work for me today? And if it's going to work, press the feet into the hands into the thighs, come to standing. And then we're going to sit down without a plop, strengthen those quads, the power of the quads, shift the weight to the heels of the feet, sink the hips down. Maybe you like a wider stance with the hands on the thighs, that's okay. See if that works for you. Shift the weight to the heels, sit down without a plop. Maybe you like 1 foot forward of the other foot. Does that work better for you? If you tried that, then switch feet. See if they're evenly. That doesn't work as well for me. So that's good information to know that I have some imbalances there. Maybe if you're doing the traditional, the hands can come across the chest. or out to the side for that leverage. And don't forget to sit down without a plop, maybe a little, oh, scoop. Or maybe you're just doing the as if, strengthening and releasing, strengthening and releasing, strengthening and releasing. Do 2 more wherever you are as I push my video back. Oh, that takes your breath away, doesn't it? All right. We're going to place the, made a mess. We're going to press the chairs on the left side of our mat. All righty. You got it? Okay. And let's start with, take the feet wide, get a little movement in the ankles, a little movement in the knees, send the hip forward to the side, back and to the side, stir in that pot with all the body. Take it the other direction, feel the feet and the way they're shifting the weight on your feet, switching keep the knees nice and bent, really getting the whole body involved in this whole body circle. I got an itch on my ankle. All right, shake it out. Come to your mountain pose, hand on that left side. Full breath in. I'm going to push back just a little bit more because I lost my head. Not the first time I've lost my head. All right, that's better. All right, arms reach forward, heels lift, arms lower down. If you want to hold on to the chair, hold on to the chair. So here we're just kind of focusing on our center, our equanimity. So if you use that equanimity breath, maybe this one comes a little bit easier for you. As you draw that belly in, feel the rooted connectiveness of the feet. And just sweeping the arms forward, lifting the heels, keeping the eye gaze forward, focusing on something in front of you that's not moving. Paying attention to how the feet feel as they lift your whole body up. And then 2 more, breathing in. Maybe the arms reach a little higher and out. Last one, inhale and exhale. Arms out to the side now. Shift the weight now to the heels of your feet. Toes are light. Send the sitting bones back, bend the knees, and bring the fingertips to your shoulders. We're going to do a little gentle chair. Try not to arch the back, so lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. All that weight's on your heels. Knees are about hip distance apart. See if you can isometrically draw your hips, your legs toward each other to engage the muscles of the legs. And then straighten the knees, reach the arms out to the side. Inhale and shift the weight to the heels of the feet. Bend the knees, sink the hips, fingertips onto shoulders. Inhale, straightening the arms, straightening the legs. Exhale, shifting to chair. Inhale, arms out to the side. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, chair, fingertips to shoulders. Feel the power of your thighs. We need to maintain the strength of those legs. Good. And lift. Good. Reach the right arm forward. Right arm forward, left arm back, and then switch. So we're windmilling the arms. Right arm forward, left arm back. You can add a little twist if you like. If that doesn't bother your knees, you can soften your knees, bend your knees a little bit so there's no pull on the knees. You got this? So you're kind of windmilling the arms. Right arm forward, left arm back. Turning just a bit with that movement, a little twist in the spine. Then can you go the other direction? Can you bring the left arm forward, right arm back? A little bit of turning movement with that. Knees are soft. If you need to keep the fingertips on the shoulders and just move the elbows forward and back, that will work too. Good. All right, and then shake those arms out. Holding on to the chair with that left side now. Right hand on the right hip. Shift your weight over to that left side and peel the right foot up. Maybe the left leg is willing to bear all the weight for a knee lift, leg extension, knee lift, and lower. If that doesn't work, you're going to tap forward and back. Still trying to bring as much strength as you can into that standing leg. So ready? Inhale, knee lifts or taps forward. Extend the leg, bend the knee, and lower. Good. Inhale, leg lifts. Exhale, extension. Inhale, knee lift. And we're trying to get that knee as high to the chest as you can get. Working the hip flexor and the core. 2 more if we can. Leg lifts. Extends, that's the quad. Hip flexor core. Extensors. Good. 1 more. Lift. You can even give it a little support with the hand if you need to. And lower. Okay. We're going to do the same side, holding on to, don't need to switch sides. So shift your weight over to the right, lift the left leg or tap. Extend, lift, and lower. Good. And you can even just take it not quite so high. You got to listen to your own body today. Inhale, exhale, inhale. But my focus this session is really on strengthening the power of your quads, right? That's where we get our ability to lift ourselves up out of the chair, out of the car. So it's going to maintain your independence for long, 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 long. 2 more. So even if you're sitting around middle of the day, just do a few of these chair poses and these just to keep these legs strong, okay? All right, let's face the chair and do an L pose. So we're going to stretch out the back because that's a little much on the back. Take the feet back. Bend the knees, bring the head in the direction of the upper arms. If the shoulders aren't having it, you're still working the spine, but the elbows are bent, pointing down toward the sky, the floor. All right, so bend your knees a lot, and then slowly start to straighten. What we're trying to do here is just get some length in the hamstrings. I'm even resting my hand on my head on my hands to focus more on the legs rather than my neck. Just a little bend of the knees. My head's resting on my hands on the back of the chair. And just playing with this, bending the knees and straightening the knees while keeping the spine straight. If you have to arch the back to get straight knees, then don't straighten them as much. Maintain that integrity and elegance of your long spine. 1 more. Good. And then bend the knees, press the hands into the thighs, and lift back up. Now that nice stretch in the hamstring. So we really worked our outer hip, our inner thigh, the back of the hamstring, the front of the quad, all of that, trying to maintain. So now we want to work that little glute muscle again. Not yet though. Let's do a lunge. So take that left foot back under the chair and step the right foot back. So if you need to put a blanket or something under your heel to support your foot, go ahead and do that. Nice wide base of support if you would please. Now squeeze the back right butt, squeeze it and lift the back thigh bone up. All right, so you're pressing the back thigh bone back. And reach your right arm up, lengthen and crescent. So now we're working that whole, we're stretching. So we strengthen, now we need to stretch that whole complex that we've been working. The side body, we've been doing a lot of side stretches too. 1 more breath here. Straighten back up. Now bring the back foot forward, straighten both legs for pyramid. You're going to take that left hip crease back just a little bit and then hinge forward to get that accentuated stretch in the back of the thigh. Don't have to go real far to feel that. Try not to lock the knee, so a little micro bend in that knee if you need to. And press the sitting bones back, so shoot arrows out of your sitting bones. One more breath. That one just feels kind of good, doesn't it? After all that, lift back up. And let's bring the right foot forward and send the left foot back this time. Squeeze the left glute, so squeeze it. Lift the back thigh bone up. Bend to that front knee. All right, isometrically scissors your legs away from each other. Can you imagine that? Like you're scissoring. Reach the left arm up. You should feel a stretch already happening all through this hip complex, and then crescent over towards that right side. Good. Lift up. Lower the arm down. Step the back foot forward a bit so the toes are facing forward. Hip points are level. Hinge forward. Set that right hip crease back just a little bit and shoot arrows out your sitting bones. Just trying to focus on that right front thigh, balancing weight on both feet evenly. Keep the core engaged, draw the belly in and up. One more breath, two more breaths maybe. Good. And lift up, walk the back foot forward. Turn back to that left side. Now let's work that gluteus medius, okay? So your options are to step out to the side if the standing leg has had enough. Ooh, crack. Or you can lift the leg. Try to lead with the heel a little bit, taking your awareness to that little butt muscle. You can sweep your arm if you choose. 4. Then we're coming to star, so hold it out there for just a breath. See if you can feather tap. This leg's getting tired. Mine sure is. You can even come to a little half moon pose if you want. And release that. Now we have to bring the chair over. So we can work the other side, or just turn yourself around. Do the hokey pokey. All right, you ready? Shift your weight to that standing leg on the right side, tap, or lift the foot. Try to send it back just a little bit so you can really feel the butt muscle working. All right, it's a little bit more, less out to the side, more a little bit to the back and out. Standing leg is having a choir singing to you. You can use the arm if you want. And then next time that leg is out, hold it there. Standing leg saying, you have done me in. And lower that down. Shake the legs out. Okie doke. Got a couple more minutes for some nice warrior poses. So let's take a wide stance for you. First, we're going to start with the left leg. Turn those toes 45 degrees and kick the right heel back. Take a bend to the front knee. Doesn't have to be a real wide one, but just open up through the inner thighs. So we stretch those inner thighs a lot. So open up through that so that knee stacked over the ankle. Collarbones face forward if that works. You can hold on to the chair or sweep the arms out to the side and gaze over your left fingertips. Breathing in and out. Strong and stable here. Good. Lower your right hand down. Find the chair if you'd like, or your thigh. Turn the left palm up and reach it overhead. So again, finding that space from hip to rib and grow it a ½ inch longer. So if the fingertips are on the shoulder, you can still stretch from your waistline. Nice. And then back to warrior 2. Straighten the front knee and turn the feet facing forward. Hands on the back of the chair, or slide the hands down the thigh for a little wide forward fold and a wobble. Just a little wobble. Every time you send the hips to the right, the left inner thigh stretches. So this might be a slower thing for you. Good for sciatica too. Stretch through that piriformis muscle. And then bend the knees, lift back up, squiggle the feet in, shake the feet out, give them a little break, march them, cross crawl. Back to your breath. In through the nose, out through an open mouth. 2 more. Last one. Nice, and shake it out. Good. Let's do our warrior on the other side. So, wide stance. Right toes under the chair, left heel kicks back. And collarbones face forward as you take a bend to that front knee. Again, doesn't have to be real wide, but it should be open. I'm more interested in it being open. So use your inner thigh muscle to draw that knee out just to the side a bit. Sweeping the arms out to the side, look over your right fingertips. Find your breath. And then we'll lower the left hand down. Turn the right palm up, reach it overhead or fingertips to the shoulder. And then try to create space between hip and rib. Lengthen, use your body, your energy muscle energy to open up through that space. And then back to warrior 2. Straighten the front knee, hand come back to the chair. And squiggle your feet in, shake the legs out, and we'll come onto the floor now, onto our back. So we'll meet in constructive rest, okay? And have your strap, please, nearby. In constructive rest, head may be on a pillow or a blanket. Just start to rock your knees side to side. And everybody gets situated, so we'll all meet just rocking those knees side to side. Get your strap unfurled. And then come to stillness. Make sure your spine is long. Allow the spine to release just a bit. Just notice how your body feels. Take a moment to settle into the space. Let the pelvis feel heavy. And then bring that right knee into the chest. Give it a little hug. If the left leg is also willing to come in, bring left leg in or switch. Let's go back and forth if you need to, or both knees into the chest. Give a little hug. Make some circles with your ankles. Get the feet to release. Wiggle, twinkle toes. And then lower your left foot down and put the strap around the ball of the right foot. Soften the elbows down toward the floor and snuggle your shoulder blades under your back. And with the knee bent, bring it towards your right shoulder. All right. And then bring it towards center. Extend the leg out and up. So if it doesn't want to go straight, then lower it down till it's straight. Put a little pressure on the bottom of the ball of the foot as the straps pull the toes towards the nose. And if the leg starts to bend, see if you can't just lower the leg, straighten it, and only take it as high as the leg can go straight. What I'd like to have you try to do here is externally rotate your leg. So from the top of the leg bone, externally rotate it so your toes point at 2 o'clock. Really reach out through the heel of the foot. So draw that energy from the earth up to the heel, and then back down again as you root the leg bone into the pelvis. And back to neutral. And then from the top of the leg bone, internally rotate the leg from the whole leg. So the knee, the thigh bone, everything points to 10 or 11 o'clock. And feel that stretch on the outer leg. Keep drawing the toes towards the nose, and you'll really accentuate that stretch on the outer calf muscle, the outer shin. And then back to center. I need a little more space. So left hand comes on the left hip. I'm going to take my left leg slightly out to the left side and take my right leg out to the right side just to balance the weight of my pelvis. So I'm making a big wide V with my legs. Can you externally rotate just a bit? From this position, and internally rotate is really hard, just a bit. And then use the strength of your leg to lift the legs back to neutral. If it works for your back, extend the left leg, put the straps in your left hand, and cross your right leg over top of your left, allowing that right hip to come up off the earth and the right shoulder to reach for the floor. If that doesn't work, you can bend the knee in towards your chest and just give it a little hug as you bring the knee in the direction of the upper arm to stretch out through that butt muscle. So you choose. Does it feel better to have your leg extended or your knee bent? They both do the same thing. Get a little more stretch in the lower part of the lower leg when you have the leg extended. And then straighten the leg back up. Bend the knee, do a cool yoga trick. So swap out your feet. Lower your right foot down, and then bend your left knee towards your left shoulder, and then bring it back to center, extend it straight, press the strap into the foot, foot into the strap, then slowly start to lengthen the leg toward the ceiling. If it bends, lower it back down till it gets straight, because this is a hamstring stretch. Externally rotate, so from the top of the leg bone, rotate it out, pointing to 10 or 11 o'clock. Internally rotate it. These are things you can do in your bed too, in the morning, this internal and external rotation, but it's good to have a strap hanging from your bedpost to help you and support this. All right, back to center. Taking the right knee out to the right side, left leg out to the left side. That just feels better on the pelvis. Maybe a little external and internal rotation here just to see how that feels. Play around with that. Feel that nice inner thigh stretch we did with gate pose. We did with the forward folding, the wide forward fold. We did with warrior pose. Now we're doing it again. Now use the strength of the leg to lift the leg up. If you want, extend the right leg down and cross the left leg over top of the right, allowing the hip to lift. Left shoulder reaches for the floor, but it's not a have to if it tweaks your back. And you can also bend the knee if that feels better. I even get a better stretch through my gluteus muscles, my butt muscles, and the side of the thigh if I bend the knee. You choose, your choice. And then back to center. And lower, take the strap off completely. Move the strap, give yourself a little hug. And row the legs. So knee in toward the chest and then push the legs away. If that doesn't feel good for you, you can always just keep the feet on the floor and butterfly the knees back and forth. Okay. All right, now our opposite arm leg movement. So I'm going to reach my right arm up, left leg long, and then switch. Take your time with this. This is, for me, a super meditative movement as I just breathe in and reach and lengthen, and then switch. you have options here, and your options are to extend the arm up overhead as you reach the leg up toward the sky. Now, obviously, some of us have shoulder issues, and that's not going to feel good, so don't do it. And then your other option is to extend the leg long and hover it. And that's going to create a little more core work as you hover it, or you can rest it down and slide it back up. It's all a building process, listening to your body and seeing what's going to take you to that best place for you. Couple more. Good, last one. Opposite arm leg movement, so good for that brain fitness too. All right, now a couple bridges. We've been doing our homework bridges, hopefully. So the head is straight. The feet are as close to the buttocks as the knees are comfortable with. Shoulders are snuggled under your back body with the elbows bent, palms facing across your torso. My toes are light, so I'm not pressing in the heels of my feet, backs of the arms, not on the head. Scoop your tailbone, so lengthen your tailbone, lift the hips and torso. Now we're getting a nice stretch across the top of the quads, hip flexors. I want you to isometrically send your shins forward. That's going to fire up the hamstrings. See if you can't keep the muscles around your sitting bones soft. Oh, so much to think about in bridge. Hold it here if you can. If it doesn't feel good to hold it, lower it back down. Or just lower it back down. Let's do 3 more of those. So press the feet, backs of the arms, scoop the tailbone and lift. Isometrically send the shins forward. Soften the glutes. Feel the hamstrings work. Stretch in the quads. Lower. And then when you're ready, lift up again. What can you remember about all those instructions? Pick one. Pick one that you remember and do it. And lower. Counter that with a little knee into the chest, rock side to side or row. And we are ready for Shavasana. So get yourself comfy, all right? Get yourself, make sure you're warm. I'm going to read a little poem to you once you get settled in about planting new seeds. It's called Witness, and it's by Donna Falls. And she always speaks to me in ways that are timely, I think. Witness. When I can be the witness, all manner of miracles occur. Old wounds heal. The past reveals itself to be released. Present dramas play themselves out without sinking emotional talons into my soft skin. The witness welcomes truth and dares to meet reality on its own terms. It is the ground in which the seeds of transformation take root and finally flower. When the witness is awake, the lake of mind is still. And in that mirrored surface, I see my own true face as spirit smiling back at me. Begin to slowly come back into this space. First with the breath. And then with gentle movement of the body, fingers, toes, turning of the head. I just want to repeat the last line of Donna Fault's poem. She says, "When the witness is awake, the lake of mind is still. And in that mirrored surface, I see my own true face as spirit smiling back at me." What a wonderful metaphor. If you feel ready to get up, then bend your knees, rock the knees side to side. And roll over onto your favorite side. Pause there for a moment and just picture yourself looking into the mirrored lake, the still mirrored lake of your own mind. See the expression on your own face as you find and seek your own truth. And press your hands into the earth. Use that to help you come to a comfortable seat for yourself. Bring the hands to the heart space, finger to finger, palm to palm. And thank you so much for letting me guide you through your practice today. Bring your hands to your forehead for continued good thoughts, to your lips for continued kind words, and to your heart for compassion for yourself and each other. Bow your head to honor your own practice, and blink your eyes open and take a look at everybody else and greet each other with namaste. Namaste, everybody.